Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I will show you how to use the Excel to do a data analysis from the data integration, preparation, cleaning, and logical test, and also to use the pivot table to show how to summarize the data. Okay, let's start from the data. Okay, we have the four tables of the sales or details of the 4 years. Okay, that's easy. We found that. Also, we have another table of the customer segment from different section: consumer, home office, and corporate. We also have the people. That means the regional sales manager contribution to they contributed the sales to our total result. And we also find the returns because some customers return their products, the product they bought from our supermarket. The last part is the product category. That means what kind of the category of the product we sold to our customers. Okay, so firstly, and apparently, we need to integrate all of the sales orders into one table because we want to get the total result, total sales of the full tables. Okay, let's start from the first one. First of all, we need to change the raw data into a table format. Okay, let's use the Control plus Shift and the arrow to the end, then to the right side. Then we use the Control plus the T, okay, to change that. Okay. Okay, there because there are filter there, and probably it doesn't work. So let's remove the filter. Okay, let's do it again. Control Home and Control Shift plus the right side, then Control T. Okay, we got to the table one, the second one part. Okay, Control Home from to the A1, then Shift plus Control, then arrow to the right side, then Control T again. Okay, and we get the third part, Control Home, Control Shift plus, and right side, Control T. Okay, and the fourth. Okay, we also removed the that Control Home, Shift plus Control plus Shift, the arrow, right side, then Control T. Okay, it's done. We prepare the full tables. The next step, we use the Power Query to integrate all of the data together. We click on Data, get the data from the other sources, blank query. Okay, quite easy. Then we enter the so-called Power Query platform. Then we put the equal, then Excel function, EXCEL. Then we choose the current book. Oh, sorry. Then plus that. Okay. We used the Excel current book function with the bracket. Then we found that two tables, full tables we want is already here. Then we just need to choose the full tables we want. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's easy. And we click here, we found that the details of the table is already been here. So we just want to keep the content. So we remove the names. Okay, remove that. Then we click the arrows to see that details, and we also just want to release all of the details. So we already got the data we want in one table. So there is some of the irrelevant columns. We just want to remove that, remove it. And another one is the postcode. Okay. The city and the postcode. Remove that postcode. Okay. And we also don't need the details of the product name. We also can move that. Okay, that's all. We already got everything we want. Then we just close and load that. It could be time consuming. Okay, we're lucky. And we got the rows of the data is 10,194. That's easy to check that. You can do it by yourself to just calculate that. That's no problem. Okay, we give another name called orders. DERS. Okay, then we close this part. So we currently don't need the full tables anymore. We choose every table and hide those tables. Okay, good, easier to manage. So when we got this part, we find a lot of irrelevant redundancy here. Okay, so we just choose that, make it easier to manage. Okay, we use just blank here, replace all. Okay, we find it easier to manage. Then okay, and change that. Okay, easier to visual. Okay, here we find that all of the quantity of the price of the products and the product we sold. So we easy to calculate the sales. Okay, the sales is equals the L2 multiplies the M2. Okay, so someone will do the next step to get total sales, but unfortunately we need to remove the sales from the returns, because we already know that some customers just return the product we sold to them. So we have to do that. How to do that? Use the VLook to build new column. Okay, here is the returned. Okay, we need to get the data. Let's have a look. Returned data could be returned by the order ID. Okay, order ID is in the main table is the A column. Okay, order ID A column. Okay, let's try that. Use the VLook A2. Okay, then we choose the returns to get the data. Okay, 2 column, exact match. Okay, it doesn't work. Why? The reason is very simple. Because VLook can just search the data from left side to right side, but not from the right side to the left side. So here we have to make some change. Okay, and because the two tables was connected by the order ID. Okay, here is the order ID. That's no problem. Okay, in this table is also the order ID. So the VLook will search the data from left side, from right side. That's no problem. Now, also, the VLook cannot recognize the repetitive data. Here is the yes. Here is the same. You find that also lot of repetition. So we have to remove the duplicates. So we choose that. We need to remove the duplicates. Choose the data, and here remove duplicates. Choose the 2 columns. Okay. Here from the 800, then reduced to 298. Okay. Let's go back to the order. Here, because of the data is changed, in that table is the BC column. Okay, so we change that to BC column. Okay, let's see. Okay, it looks okay now. Okay, the data just yes and NA. Here we still need to fix that further, because the NA will make trouble for our further analysis. So if that yes can be returned, and Others could not be returned as the NA. We need the blank or just a yes or other kinds of the data. So we can use the if error function to fix that. We can just leave the blank here. Okay, that's no problem. Or leave the 0. That's also fine. We also can put another kind of the data. For example, no okay. Okay, this means the return data. Okay, the customer returned their product, and here is the customers not return. Okay, so we can move to the next step to get the real sales. Real sales means oh, sorry. Real sales means we will remove the return, the sales from the return. Okay, so we can do that by if. If the customer no return, so we just get the data from the sales. If they return the product, we just put that 0 because there are no real sales. Okay, that means if the O2 equals is yes, then we return the 0. Otherwise, we return the data from the N2 cell. Okay, the cell of N2. Okay, that's the result. If the customer return the product, that means return yes. Then we return, in this column, we return the 0 because no real sales. If the customer have not returned their product to us, that means no return. Okay, then we get the real sales. Okay, that's for sure. So for the further analysis, we still need to do more VLoOKUP to get the data of the segmentation and people and the product category here. That's very simple. Okay, let's do the customer segment firstly. Segment firstly. Then we do the regional manager. Also, we need the product category. Okay, let's do the VLOOKUP one by one. Segment firstly needs return by the customer ID. Let's customer, okay, let's customer name. Customer name is in the in the F column. Okay. Means VLOOKUP F column F2. Okay. Exact match. Okay, easy. That means consumer, corporate, and home office. 3 kinds of the customers. Regional manager. We need region data for reference. Region is the HI column. VLOOKUP I2. Okay. Okay. 2. Exact match. Okay. Regional managers already here. Category. Category, we need to use the subcategory. as a reference. It's a key. VLook key to, okay, then the product category. Exact match tab key. Okay, it's also done. Okay, furniture, office supplies, technology. Okay, let's do the last part of analysis. We need to insert pivot table. Okay, then we can use the real sales to calculate the total sales. Okay, sum of the total sales. And then we can use the segment to slice the data. Okay, then we find that the contributions for the sales from different kinds of the customers, from the consumer, corporate, and home office. We also can use the regional manager contribution to slice the data further. Then we find the data is not good. We use the format cell number, use that 1000 separators. Okay, that's much better to recognize. Okay, we also can use the category as the filter to choose the data we want. For example, we want to look at the furniture data. Okay, if we want to look at the furniture plus the office supplier. Okay, if we just want to look at the technology data, okay, that's also fine. We put everything on. Okay, that's all for this data analysis. We found that we have to spend most of the time on the data integration by the Power Query. And in Power Query, we need to remove the redundant data. That is called data cleaning. And we also need to use the functions like a VLook if function and if function to do the logical test and the data, the matching. Then as everything is done, then we go to the last part, use the pivot table to summarize the data. Then we can set up any kinds of dimensions to slice the data by the product category or by the regional manager or by the customer segmentation. That's for sure. In fact, the last part is the easiest part. So we have to prepare a lot before the analysis. That's all for this episode, and I will produce the more videos to help you guys to understand the process and the methodology of data analysis in Excel. Thank you very much for your time. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.